Greetings from Jerusalem, the city of peace. Isaac holds a vital place in the biblical narrative as the link between Abraham and Jacob. As a child of promise, Isaac represents the faithfulness of God. His near sacrifice on Mount Moriah serves as a profound foreshadowing of God's action for our salvation. Isaac was truly a miracle child, born not through human strength or timing, but by the direct intervention of God. His parents, Abraham and Sarah, were far beyond childbearing age. Abraham was 100, Sarah was 90, and she had been barren all her life. Through Isaac, the covenant would continue, eventually leading to the King David, and consequently, according to the biblical prophecies, to the birth of the Messiah. When Sarah, his mother, was laughing for the promise of having a child, because it seemed impossible, the heavenly visitor pronounced some crucial verses in the Torah. Is there anything too hard for the Lord? Isaac is presented in the Bible as someone who is a perfect example of obedience. There are different opinions about his age at the time of Abraham offering him at the Mount Moriah. But scholars estimate that Isaac was likely between 15 and 25 years old. A young man of 15 years was very capable of refusing that his father, who was at least 115 years old, offer him as sacrifice. However, he surrendered because he trusted God, and consequently, he highly respected his father. Thus, he became a symbol of humility and the acceptance of God's mysterious purpose. In his young age, he recognized that the plans of God for human beings are the best, and he was rewarded for his noble attitude. Another aspect of the event at the Mount Moriah is well understood when we read the book of Isaiah chapter 53. The prophet reminds us that the Messiah will not only be a king, an ultimate authority, but also a suffering servant. The prophet states, "But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement for our peace was upon him, and by his stripes we are healed." At the Mount Moriah, God said to Abraham that he will provide the lamb for the sacrifice. For a very long period of time, the Temple of Jerusalem was a place of sacrifices, confirming that God will provide. This is why a twofold character of the Messiah is fully coming to us from Tanakh or the First Testament. The Messiah will suffer for our salvation, and he will come to reign to establish God's kingdom on this planet. The text of the Bible confirms that God took care of Isaac. Chapter 26 affirms, "Then Isaac sowed in that land and reaped in the same year 100-fold, and the Lord blessed him. The man began to prosper and continued prospering until he became very prosperous, for he had possessions of flocks and possessions of herds and a great number of servants. So the Philistine envied him." chapter 26, verse 12 to 14. Isaac was very wealthy, but the prosperity came as a result of the hard work. He was sowing in that land. He had a lot of workers, and all of them contributed to the good result. Those who teach that God's blessing will just make the difference and not proclaiming a biblical concept, because the step number one for the success in any enterprise is to work hard. When God created human beings, He gave them the assignment to work and to keep. It is through the work that we become also in the likeness of God. After the hard work comes the time of harvest. If you spend time in sowing, you will have a good harvest. It means that you will receive more than you need. And if you continue to be serious in your commitment, you will be able to share with others the benefits of your hard work. In addition to the hard work and to the harvest, the time for God's blessing is always there, and He takes care of His children. There is always progress in life. The danger is to neglect that progress, to enter in a stage of stagnation. Leonardo da Vinci said wisely, "Iron rusts from disuse. Water loses its purity from stagnation. Even so does inaction sap the vigor of the mind." The logical consequence of regular progress is greatness. In Hebrew, the word gadol means great. Chaim Ben Torah affirm, the word gadol means being great in kindness, in charity, and in love. If we obey God's law and walk the walk of the righteousness, God will make us a people of great love and kindness. The word gadol starts with a gimel, which has a picture of running to someone to offer kindness. We will be people who will spend our lives reaching out to offer love, hope, and kindness. The last step, jealousy, is not our problem. Some people will always be jealous when they see the success of others. However, those who are following the steps of Isaac will just continue to offer kindness and affection. May the Lord bless us as we study the life of Isaac. May we follow his example and uplift his faithfulness. May his God continue to provide everything that is necessary for our salvation.